The most important meal of the day, second breakfast.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another Second Breakfast podcast. I'm Andy Roth alongside Phil Duvall. Say hi, Phil.
Hello, Andy. Hello, everybody.
So I'm pretty excited.
no.
Whoa there, Chachi. I'm pretty excited we're out of Dumpuary. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm also not going to lie. Yeah. Although,
Yes.
The Kingsman
Just
is a
Kingsman.
movie. It doesn't really matter to me at
That's
all.
true.
It's, I'll tell you this. It's a movie that merits discussion from the top of the pops and the smartest of the smart. In other words, the creme de la creme. That means you and me.
Agreed.
Hey, remember when we used to have, you know what we used to do? A show. First of all, we used to do a show.
It's true.
And on that show, we used to do segments, and we had that one segment that I loved, Creme de la Creme, where we would get our friends on to make us watch movies they loved.
Yes.
We need to do that again soon.
I agree.
We need to do that again. I also feel like both of us should stop working and just do this podcast.
I mean, I have nothing to add.
I mean, your girlfriend's a grad school student. Doesn't she rake it in the dough?
Oh, yeah. She's not. No. She's not a grad student yet.
Oh, wow.
But at which point she will be soon. At which point she will be taking a pay cut. Not that she's bringing in. I mean, I have a style to which I have become accustomed, and she is not taking care of me in said style.
She's not contributing to the overall Kardashian-ness to which you aspire.
Roughly 95% of our household income is hers, so I have no leg to stand on.
Zero.
I have like a pinky toe to stand on.
Right.
That's
right.
Yes.
Right.
That like joins right, like a pinky toe that joins right at my hip instead of my leg.
How early on in this relationship did she realize how hard she was reaching down to be with someone? How it wasn't right away, right? It was probably like a couple months. She was like, "Oh, I'm in love with this guy, son of a."
There are moments.
Yeah.
I say to her like I'll make a joke and she'll just look at me and I'll be like,
right.
And I'll be like, February 3rd, 2015, the day you were no longer amused by me. You know.
And this is the day.
This is it. This is the moment. This is the moment. But as long as I have you, Phil, and as long as we both have Second Breakfast Nation, you know, we're.
And Andy, I think that's going to be a long, long time.
I do too.
In the words of Elton John, and I think it's going to be a long, long time.
So I have a question. I have a statement, which is it's still weird to me that Kingsman is a singular word. They're a group of people.
I know.
That's weird. It feels like a misstep. I'm just saying.
It's one of the 1,000 things that I have questions about that movie.
Fair.
And we do need to talk about it. All I want to say about it right now is I left the theater twice. I've seen it twice now. Both times, like alternating, or feeling simultaneously that this is one of the best movies I'll see this year, and that it is deeply troubling in a lot of ways. And I'm not sure if they're missteps, as you said, in certain cases, or just a guy telling a different story than I wanted told. It's like, well, I didn't like that. Why? Because it's not how I wanted it to go. Excellently made film.
Yes.
That raises a lot of questions for me. But I think we need to do our next podcast on that because there's a lot to say.
Yes.
But it definitely did not fit the bill for Dumpuary, and I was surprised to find it there.
It's true. I have to segue into this podcast, which will be, folks, the March preview. I have a question about our Dumpuary preview because you had a movie that went into all three categories.
I did.
The Can't Hardly Wait, the Fool Me Once, and the What the H, and that movie was Jupiter Ascending.
Yeah.
Did you see Jupiter Ascending?
Nope.
Yeah, me neither.
Because in the end, when a movie somehow manages to catch all three of those categories, it's either going to be the best thing ever or the worst thing ever. Mm-hmm. And a lot of critics called it the worst thing ever. No one called it the best thing ever.
It's true.
And I really haven't loved a Wachowski movie since the first Matrix. I mean, I honestly,
Sure.
I didn't hate. No, I liked Speed Racer. I actually
see
liked
it.
Speed Racer.
I didn't see it.
Visually one of the most beautiful things.
That's what I heard.
And I didn't hate Cloud Atlas. I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
Although the more I think about it, the more I think I do hate it.
Well,
But I didn't hate it while I was watching it.
It's just such a massive undertaking for, frankly, so little payoff. Just.
Well, and also,
Just.
yeah, I mean, I think, and that's actually, I haven't read the book, but my guess is it's probably the fault of the filmmakers, not the fault of the story, in the sense that,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, anyways,
Onwards and upwards, my friend.
they made the definitive action movie of the last 20 years, so it's.
I mean, that's
kinda
true.
get what they want. They kind of get to do what they want for a while.
That's true. Without The Matrix, we probably wouldn't be getting Bill and Ted's 3. So
I'll tell you. Thank
know.
you for saying that. I'll tell you what. Without the Matrix, I watched the preview, or at least the second Matrix, one of the Matrices. I was watching. I was watching the.
No.
Yeah, I was.
No.
Andy, that's the plural. There's nothing I can do about that.
You're a bad person. Go ahead.
Well, those two things are not related, but yes, okay.
I know. I just wanted to say it.
So I was watching the preview yesterday for the new Divergent movie, Insurgent.
Yes.
Which I wish they would call. Which I don't know if it's called Divergent Insurgent, or if it's called Insurgent Divergent, or if it's just Divergent.
I think it's the Divergent series.
No, it is. And then
Insurgent.
the movie's called Insurgent. Right.
Okay,
So
I could be wrong.
sort of like Star Wars: Empire Strikes Back.
Or the Hunger Games.
Anyhow, the point of the story
Because
is
Star Wars is A New Hope. Go ahead.
the first one wasn't called A New Hope. The first one was just called Star Wars, and then they later on
That's
retro
true. That's true.
retconned it. Anyways,
George Lucas did that?
what? George Lucas going back and fiddling with things and making them worse? I've never. I never.
I am shocked to find gambling going on in this establishment.
You're winning, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, my point is, I watched the preview to Divergent, Insurgent, Divergent, and the preview just shows Shailene Woodley, who, come on, I love Shailene Woodley. I mean, she's on my list. She's on my short list of phenomenal up-and-comers and just wonderful actors. And and Miles Teller's in it. And
Right.
whatever that kid's name is, Emmett Grogan or Angus Grosvenor or something. I don't know. Anyways, he was the guy
Ansel Elgort.
I was so close. I mean, honestly,
I could be wrong. I may have just made sounds. I don't know.
it feels that way.
I'm just making
anyways, I won't make fun of his name. That's not nice to do. But she jumps out of this, skyscraper, and she's falling down this sort of futuristic-looking city skyscraper, just a la Neo. And as she's doing it, the screen says, "She's the one." And then she hits the street, and the whole street does the wave ripple thing and shoots upwards and explodes. And I was like,
Yep.
"No, I mean that exact thing happened in the
Yep.
Matrix.
Yep. That's true.
That exact thing happened." But at least it's got her and everybody and Kate Winslet. But okay, not needless to say, that's not on my list.
No?
It's not on my list for any of these things. It's not even on my. I wasn't even going to mention it. Now I mentioned it.
Way to go,
Andy.
dude.
Andy, so many movies I want to talk to you about today. I'm so excited. Most of them I can hardly wait for.
Sure. No, it's true. That's right. Or accurate. Yes.
But there's a lot of potential.
That's true.
And also, I was thinking about this when you and I talk about movies, right? Actually, let me rephrase. When you and I talk about movies, there's too much. Let me sum up. When you and I talk about movies that we haven't seen, it's just interesting. I don't know why anyone would listen to us, but I like what I like about it is it kind of like it shows me where. Well, first of all, I'd like to think that people are going, "What's coming out this month?" And who better to guide us but Andy and Phil, whose taste is impeccable.
Impeccable.
And we get to stand in their place and sort of have expectations for them. I don't know how that makes sense, but it feels like it makes sense.
In loco parentis kind of stuff. Yeah,
Exactly. Yes, and I don't know what that means, so I just said yes. I feel like
that's great. That's
it
great.
also highlights what our priorities are. So, for instance, there are movies that I'm going to list that I know I'm going to see because of the fact that I have a 4-year-old daughter.
Well, sure,
And like last couple months ago when I put Annie on that list.
sure.
And and this month I've got a couple of those that it's like, well, I've got a 4-year-old, so I guess I'm seeing those. So I just mention them because it's almost like a separate category of doesn't really matter how I feel about it.
Sure.
Doesn't really matter how I feel about it. But I put that under fool me once generally.
I'm looking at this month's movies, man. I don't know that I have a single can't hardly wait. I really don't.
I forced myself to have no. I have two. I have two.
I mean, and having said that, like I agree with you. There's so much potential this month, but there
Okay.
isn't.
So
Okay,
can I just tell you what my can't hardly waits are?
please do.
Okay. One of them is me forcing it into that category, but the previews look really funny.
Okay,
Get Hard with Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart. The previews look so funny. Both of those guys are hilarious.
parts of that preview look funny, and one and a half of those guys is hilarious.
Okay. I mean, if you don't, I don't know which part of you, are you racist or dumb? I don't know
I'm
which.
making a Kevin Hart short joke.
Oh,
No,
like,
actually,
oh, like in
no,
that movie,
no.
Grudge Match. In
No,
Grudge Match.
no, no. What was Jesus like? Was he cool?
Was he cool?
No.
Seriously.
What I mean is this. What I mean is this. And I've totally hijacked your movie. I'm sorry.
That's okay, go ahead.
Will Ferrell is very hit or miss for me.
Oh, definitely.
He's the half.
Okay,
He's the
yeah,
half. You know. But like, I don't want
I he's always funny. His movies aren't always funny.
That's true. That
Like,
that's true.
but the preview. I saw a couple previews. I know. Main thing is at this point, I was so far down the list and I hadn't gotten. I can't hardly wait that I just almost had to put one on there. But I did end up coming up with another one that I cannot hardly wait for.
Okay, that's good.
I'm interested in the possibility of what Get Hard could be. I'm interested. I mean, it could go a lot of really cool directions, and the preview made it seem like it's actually kind of interested in going some of those directions, dealing with like I don't know, just how it deals with stereotypes and racial relationships has a lot of potential with this talented a staff, with this talented a
That's
cast.
fair. That's fair. That's fair.
I hope. I have hopes. And
what's your other one?
other one? Oh, It Follows. Have you seen the preview for It Follows?
I have not. As a
Well,
matter
it
of
looks
fact.
like a terrifying horror movie. That looks original and fascinating.
And that is I am so proud. I'm so
Once a
proud.
year. Listen, once a year. Andy, once a year. Last year it was Evil Dead. The year before
Sure.
that was the house in the cabin in the woods. Once a year, there's some horror movie
Horror.
that grabs me very frighteningly and shakes me and says, "You may want to watch this, idiot." And
Okay.
and this, I watched the preview for It Follows, and this is that movie.
Nice.
It doesn't look gory. It looks scary and innovative, and like a movie that someone really wanted to make, rather than a buck that someone really wanted to make.
Awesome. I love everything you're saying. That sounds
So-
fantastic.
And the preview gave me enough to give me a sense of what was going on, but not quite understand what the heck it's talking about.
Okay.
So it just looks good and scary, and I hope it is.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bump a movie up into Can't Hardly Wait because
Wow.
I have loved this director's movies in the past, and his most recent one, I absolutely loved.
Wow. I think I know what's going to be.
It's gonna be While We're Young.
Oh, okay.
While
Yeah,
We're
I haven't.
Young.
Noah Baumbach, right?
Yes. I know the one you thought it was going to be. I know,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to get to that in the Fool Me Once, unfortunately,
Agreed.
because I do have reservations. But
I think that's going to be my what the age category. But go ahead.
sure. Noah Baumbach, he did Kicking and Screaming. He did, I believe he did Greenberg.
Squid and Whale.
Squid and the Whale, yes.
Greenberg.
And his latest one, Francis Ha.
Oh,
Like this movie, it made my top 10
I
of
remember that.
2013. You know,
I still haven't seen it.
this movie is like tailor made for me to just find the main character totally insufferable. But Greta Gerwig makes her so adorable. It is the way, you know what it is? You know what it is? And I make this analogy intentionally. It is what, imagine Annie Hall in the hands of a lesser actress than Diane Keaton.
Right.
So she's saying things like, well, la di da, la. You're like, really? I'm gonna punch you in the face. Like you could not be more annoying. But,
But in the hands of Diane Keaton, it's transcendent,
yes.
and humanizing, and beautiful.
yes, and you can see, and she's emotionally needy and crazy without,
Right.
but when Woody Allen stands on that rooftop and says, "I more than love you, I love you, I love you," get it.
Yeah.
You get it. I'm sorry for making a violence joke earlier. I'm vaguely uncomfortable with how that happened.
I don't remember the violent joke.
Punching a woman in the face, that doesn't make me happy.
Oh,
What
Andy
is it?
would. Okay, let's be clear. Let's be clear to
Like,
the world.
I
Let's be
just-
clear to the world. Andy would never punch any woman in the face.
That's
Frankly,
true.
Andy would never punch any person in the face.
That's also true.
Andy, how many people have you punched in the face?
-1, because
Say, guys, do you see my point?
I have been punched in the face, but I have.
Yeah.
But that was
Hey,
that.
can I say something?
Please.
Me too, dude. Me too.
Awesome.
And I also did not punch back. I actually was like, dude,
Skype
that was
5.
hip-pow.
Awesome.
Yeah, I hear you. Sometimes we say things on our show, and what we mean is, like, oh, sometimes you want to smack someone around. But Andy and I, we don't ever hit anybody, so we just mean like that kind of person would be insufferable.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
literally, I was talking to my wife earlier today. And I said if I have to go to that thing on Sunday, I'm gonna blow my brains out. Okay.
Right.
I'm not gonna kill myself, and I don't condone killing yourself just because you have to go to some nonsense that your family makes you go to. Don't worry, they never
Sure.
watch my. By the way, don't worry, they never watch our podcast, so they'll never know. I don't know.
Sure.
Like,
To sum up,
go back to Frances Ha.
Frances Ha is totally adorable. Oh, and also it's a like a finding oneself coming of age story, which again, some of my favorite movies are, but in the wrong hands, it requires such a deft and light touch. And Baumbach gets it. I mean, he hits every note perfectly. It's
been
glorious.
It's been a really, really long time since I liked Ben Stiller, though I didn't see Greenberg. But it's been a really long time since I've liked Ben Stiller, and I'm not about to insult him. I'm going to say I'd like to like him now. Like, bring it on.
I bet you'd like him in Greenberg.
Well, I hope so. Well, I hope so. I hope you're right. And I'd like to see it. And I had it on my DVR for like 2 years, and then finally deleted it without watching it. But
Sure.
but I've done that to worse movies and better movies, so it doesn't mean anything.
And then to sum up all of that, I have no reservations about While We're Young.
There you go. There you go.
you know, like-
Who's the female lead in that movie?
Naomi Watts.
I mean, she's lovely.
And it's got your boy Adam Driver in it.
Oh, he is my boy.
And it's got my girl Amanda Seyfried in it.
Oh,
Who?
she's only your girl because I have so many girls already that I have to give her to you.
No,
Otherwise I'm selfish and greedy.
no. She's
Greedy.
I am a hipster about her. I liked her before it was cool. Okay.
Okay.
Because not only Mean Girls but also Veronica Mars. So there you go.
I mean,
No, hipster, liked her before it was cool. Also, the ace in the hole, the wild card, the joker in the deck, some
Okay.
other poker analogy that doesn't really fit. Charles Grodin is in this movie.
I know I've seen the preview.
The moment.
I thought we were going to talk more about Amanda Seyfried, but go ahead. That's fine.
Here's why we're not. Because of the moment in Dave where he's leaving the White House and he just turns to him and
You
says,
have to get out of here
"Get out of here as fast
as you can. It's It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I would watch Dave on a loop.
Me too. I don't own that movie.
Have you seen? I know, neither do I. Have you seen Louis? Do you watch Louis, the TV show?
I have not seen the latest season.
Okay, so then he's in the last season. And
Okay,
first of all, the
okay.
last season's the best season of the show.
I believe you.
And I mean,
yes.
like by a country mile.
Wow.
I mean, it's just astounding television, and
Wow.
and Grodin's in it, and he's got like 3 scenes, and they're all priceless, just priceless.
I love it.
Okay.
I don't think we've ever talked about everything surrounding a Can't Hardly Wait movie as much as we've talked about around While We're Young. I don't know much about this movie. I watched part of the trailer and then stopped because I didn't want to know anymore. I was like, Baumbach, Stiller, Naomi Watts, Adam Driver, Amanda Seyfried, Charles Grodin. I'm in. I'm done. I'm spent. Yes. So
It sounds good to me. I'm with
Yeah.
you. Also, is your laptop on like a trampoline? Because every time you move, like the whole screen shakes.
Phil, this is how excited I am for a new Noah Baumbach movie.
All right, I love you. Can we move on to our Fool Me Once category?
We can go for it.
Okay. Well, it starts right away. By the way, by the time this comes out, March movies will already have been happening, and so we apologize to you, but not really. We don't care.
No.
Look at Vince Vaughn. Fool me a million times. I love Vince Vaughn till the day I die. Nothing's taken that away from me. Tom Wilkinson. Dave Franco. Is it Dave Franco? Sure.
Yes.
Little Franco.
It is.
LF, Little Franco. Unfinished Business.
Wow.
Unfinished Business looks really funny. Again, the preview has the
Does it?
yeah. It looks like what it looked.
Does it?
Okay, here's the deal. It's not breaking any ground.
That's true. That's true.
I don't have anything to say to you, Andy. I want it so badly to be funny because I love Vince Vaughn forever and a day.
Yeah.
And I will see his movies until I can't see them anymore.
Did you see?
And I cannot wait till the second season of True Detective.
Yes.
He shuts everybody's mouths about what he's capable of because I believe so deeply in him. Oh, I know.
I want that too.
But you know, you and I both have people that we are going to follow no matter what.
Sure.
Yours are generally a higher class of people, and mine are people like Vince Vaughn.
Did you see Delivery Man?
I, in fact, did. In the theater.
How was that?
Oh, it wasn't good.
How was he in it?
Lovely.
Was he? Okay.
I love him.
All right.
I love him. And Vincent D'Onofrio was in it, and it just...
That's never a bad thing.
It wasn't a terrible movie.
And I love me some Colby Smulders.
You should, as well. You should.
Sure.
It wasn't a terrible movie. Here's the thing: is that movie he made with the interns he made with or the internship or whatever it was called with Owen Wilson. That was a legitimately terrible film that I still liked watching because that's how much I love both of them.
Yeah.
Because Wedding Crashers is a stone cold comedy classic from modern days. Period.
Yep.
Look at. For Swingers, which is so much more than a comedy,
Yes.
and so much more definitive for our generation than many, many movies. For Old School and for Wedding Crashers, Vince Vaughn has a place. And so I'm always going to be trying to figure that out. And I love the idea of him and Owen Wilson teaming up over and over again. Just didn't work out so well in internships. But anyways, or the interns, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
But other than that, the movies he makes aren't very good, but they're not terrible. There's a difference. Like
That's true.
Delivery Man wasn't terrible.
Okay.
It had heart for miles, but what I'm excited about for True Detective is that I just feel like he's actually we're gonna see him giving it everything. Like you can't help but feel like he's phoning stuff in here. And when I saw Chef, the Jon Favreau movie recently, I was so impressed. And B, so dismayed that I just wanted Jon Favreau to call Vince Vaughn up and say, "Buddy, I'm making. What do you want me to make for you? I'm going to make you a movie." And
Right.
I wanted to see them team up in a way that would be meaningful because Jon Favreau has figured out how to make movies in a really beautiful way at this point.
Nice. Well said.
Anyways.
Well said.
So, unfinished business. Nothing you're going to say to me. I'm going to see that movie.
I wouldn't dream of standing between
Tom
you and that
Wilkinson
movie.
reprising his role from Full Monty. Reprising his role from Full Monty as the grumpy old man who's washed up and needs a real job 20 years later.
Sure.
Tom Wilkinson being old for as long as anyone can remember. I'd like to point out that Maggie Smith was old when we were children.
That's true.
Maggie
That's true.
Smith played the old angry nun in Sister Act. Maggie Smith has been old since we were children.
That's true.
It's like when you see a picture of your grandma with brown hair and you're like, when was this taken? Like, is that Moses standing next to her? What is this? Is this what do they call that? Like a
What was Jesus like? Was he cool?
Seriously. All right, another fool me once, Andy. I'm gonna give you two in a row. Cinderella
Yep.
and Home. Why? Because my daughter.
So
Neither of these looks terrible, by the way.
Home might look a little terrible. Home might look a little terrible. That doesn't hit any of my lists. It doesn't hit any of my lists.
And it wouldn't. Did I not know I was going to be seeing it?
Sure. Cinderella also makes my fool me once. There's no one in it I dislike. Most of the people I actively like.
Yeah.
And Kenneth Branagh.
Oh, boy.
Here's something weird. I think it might. I don't think the lack of this factor would bump it up to can't hardly wait. But like, part of the reason I'm so meh about this movie might be, and this is unfair of me, but it's my life. I saw my girlfriend and I have season tickets to the Durham Theater.
Oh, wow.
For the tours that come through. And it's like we're seeing Kinky Boots next week, and we saw Annie in December, and Phantom of the Opera, and Newsies, and Pippin coming through. Very excited, blah, blah, blah. Jersey Boys, Book of Mormon, Wicked, all that stuff. So, one of the shows that we saw this year was Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella. Never heard of it? Neither have Rodgers and Hammerstein. And
I've heard of it. I've seen it. It's terrible.
It's just not a good show. It's just not a good show.
There's like one song that's semi-okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's Rodgers and Hammerstein, so they know what they're doing. But the story, strangely, because it's Cinderella, which is an awesome story, it just sort of doesn't work. And it's just really just meh. And it's meh to the point of actually being disappointing. And so because of that...
It's,
I'm a little Cinderella'd out, to be perfectly honest.
I understand. I had to watch, Andy, I watched a children's version of the play you just described last year.
Okay.
A children's, like children doing it. The Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella.
Awesome.
That's the thing that happened to me. There's like one good song. There's actually one good song, but I can't remember what it was.
Okay.
Woof, woof, woof.
So that's that. And then Home, tell me about Home. Because I saw the trailer and like I forgot it as I was watching it.
I mean, it's Sheldon from Big Bang Theory playing the animated alien version of Sheldon from Big Bang Theory.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And it's got Steve Martin as one of the voices, and I just love him forever and a day. And again, and my daughter's going to want to see it. My wife wants to see it because she loves the Big Bang Theory. That's pretty much the whole.
Fair.
This is on the. But and Cinderella, I mean, it's got Kate Blanchett. Andy, have we talked? I know we've talked about it personally, or maybe we didn't. Have we talked about Kate Blanchett's 5 minutes in the last Hobbit movie?
We haven't actually.
Andy. I know you can't see me right now because my screen is frozen. But Andy.
Yes.
I as close to hating that movie as you can imagine without officially hating it is how I felt about the last Hobbit movie.
Okay.
It was the most useless film I've ever seen in my life. And yet, the 5 minutes with Kate Blanchett made the entire thing worth the price of admission.
Where she saves Mithrandir?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 Oh, there is Kate Blanchett and there is everyone else. She is playing a totally different game.
Yeah, totally.
And I will see her in anything.
Sure.
I will see her in anything.
That's
I just and I know we say that like a lot, like, oh, I'd see that person in anything. And we kind of, it's our like code for saying we like someone a lot. I'm actually saying I will see a movie I don't care about even a little bit because I want to know, because I would sit through that insufferable, terrible Hobbit movie again just to see that one scene with her. Although luckily it's in the first half hour. So I could just watch that and then just walk away. But it's the most beautiful thing.
I really liked it.
It's one of my favorite things in all six Peter Jackson Tolkien movies. Is that one moment. It's one of my favorites in all 6 of them.
Okay.
And it's in maybe my least favorite of the 6 movies. I love her so much.
Sure. You still don't see this as a reason to see the movie Home, but you've got a daughter. Okay, I'm going to give you...
Oh, that was for Cinderella.
Oh, right, sorry, right, yes, Cinderella, right. Oh, that's fair. Well, you can see it anyway, because, I mean, it is Cinderella, and you do have a daughter. I'm probably going to see it, too, because Cinderella and Branagh.
Yep.
So I've got three. Fool me onces. I'm just going to hit you with them. Well, I'll give you the 3, and then we'll talk about them. I'm gonna give you Chappie. I'm gonna give you These Final Hours, and I'm gonna give you The Cobbler, which I will guess is the movie you thought I was bumping up into my Can't Hardly Wait.
Which one did you think you were going to bump up?
The Cobbler.
No.
Was it Chappie?
Yeah, you like that guy. You like that guy who made that movie.
He's made 2 movies, and one of them I liked, and one of them I didn't.
Okay, that's a fair point.
The Cobbler,
Which you really like is... Who's the guy who made Cobbler?
Tom McCarthy. The guy who made Station Agent. He made Station Agent, Win-Win, and The Visitor.
Well, he's just got bumped up to Can't Hardly Wait for me.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's not accurate. That's not accurate.
I didn't think it was. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
Oh, Chappie is in my What the H category because it literally looks like District 9 plus Short Circuit. Like
Agreed.
I can't.
Right.
And I'm not, and like I almost want to say, just remake Short Circuit, like remake it. I don't hate remakes actually, like on principle.
Sure.
I hate reboots more, just because what does that even mean? And we did a whole podcast once on remakes versus reboots. Remakes versus reboots. Remooks is when you when someone becomes an idiot all over again. You remooked them.
God, I become a remook daily.
Yeah, remook. Oh, you remooked. You were like, you started to be really smart, and then you remooked. But I hate reboots, and but I don't. But literally, when I watch the trailer, I'm like, I love Dev Patel. I like Hugh Jackman fine. It looks like an interesting movie enough, but it just looks like a remake of Short Circuit, except without Ali Sheedy. And Andy, you can't make a movie better by taking Ali Sheedy out of it. You can only make it worse.
It's true.
It's Ali Sheedy.
Yeah. No one else is going to eat that sandwich she makes in the Breakfast Club.
You know what? Other people might eat it, but nobody would make it seem as plausible. I wish Ali Sheedy was still legitimately famous. In a real way.
I agree with you.
I feel her loss maybe even more than the loss of Judd Nelson as a famous person. Although, Andy.
Yes.
I was watching a preview for something recently. I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh. I've been taping the TV show Empire, but haven't been watching it yet.
Okay.
And Judd Nelson shows up next week, so I'm going to need to get myself caught up.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan of the Judd Nelson oeuvre from the 80s.
Who isn't really?
But like From the Hip when he's a lawyer, Relentless when he's a serial killer, I've just got a Judd Nelson thing.
Nice.
He had moments for me as growing up. I also drove by him once he was riding his Harley in the Hollywood Hills, and I saw him. Of course he was. Yeah, and that's it. And I was like, out loud said, "Of course you are." I mean, it was.
Yes, true.
All right.
So,
but I just Chappie, Andy, talk to me here.
I just think I am willing to. I'm willing to see Short Circuit with a social message. And you know what I think Chappie's going to be? Short Circuit with a social message.
Short Circuit had a social message. That was what Short Circuit was. It was a movie. It wasn't just a plain comedy. It was about him like not wanting to be a war machine, wanting to be a human being. And then
Yes.
when they remade it and called it Iron Man, it was fantastic. Or the Iron Giant, it was fantastic.
I understand that. I understand that. That's not a social message because there's no underserved and underclass of robots right now that wants to be human. It's it's a metaphor that can be extrapolated to various things in life right now. But like District 9 wasn't the most original thing in the world either, but it was an excellent allegory for apartheid. I don't know that that's what we're going to get with
Yeah,
Chappie.
agreed.
I don't
Yeah.
know that we're going to get that with Chappie, and also, frankly, I just want to see Charlton Copley do an awesome job as Chappie. I want to see, I want to see Dev Patel. I want to see Hugh Jackman be a bad guy.
I
want to
feel
see
all those things.
Sigourney Weaver again. I don't know why you're attacking me, brah.
I love all
This
those
is this
people.
is not a can't hardly wait. This is
I
not a
just
can't
can't.
hardly wait.
You're right. You're right. I can't. I want more movies made by extremely ridiculously wealthy studios, written and directed and performed by extremely wealthy people, like shaming the rich in favor of the poor. I need more of those in my life, and I wish that they would make more of them. Thank God for the guy who made those movies, District 9 and Elysium. I can't wait for another one.
It's not really shaming the rich in District 9.
No, in Elysium he is for sure.
Sure. Moving on. These
Ugh,
the-
all right. Oh,
these
what was the third? What was the third movie you said?
these final hours.
Don't even know what that is.
It is an Australian. It's an Australian movie set. So something has happened, and the world is ending. I think it's maybe a meteor strike or something. There's like a wall of fire that's going to kill everyone.
Okay.
A la Knowing. Spoiler if you haven't seen that Nicolas Cage masterpiece.
I really liked that Nicolas Cage movie, actually.
I did too, actually. You know who else did? Roger Ebert. I think the three of us were the only people who liked that movie. I don't think I liked it as I don't think I liked it as much as Ebert did. He gave it 4 out of 4 stars, but
Right.
I liked it.
Yeah.
These final hours, it's set in Australia, and it's like we have parts of the world are already gone, and Australia is going to be hit by whatever is ending it soon, and it's just a story about people who meet up, and it's getting just astonishing buzz coming out of festivals, and you know how I like a good apocalypse, and I'm a big fan. I'm a fan of what I'm seeing, but I don't know much about it, and I'm trying not to. So it can't be
Sure.
a no reservation, can't hardly wait kind of thing for me. But yeah, that's where I am really.
Sure.
And then lastly, and this might be the last of my of my fool me once. Oh no, I have at least one more. The Cobbler,
Oh yeah.
which just to reiterate, Thomas McCarthy, who you might know if you've seen The Wire as the sniveling reporter from the last season. Scott Templeton, I think his name is. The character's name is the bad guy reporter from the last season. Yeah.
Sure.
He has sort of quietly made 3 of the best movies of the past few years with
Yeah.
The Station Agent, The Visitor, and Win-Win. All 3 of
Yep.
them will just turn you inside out and put you back together again in the best way.
Yeah.
They're great.
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
And this movie and so this movie should be in my can't hardly wait category. It stars Adam Sandler, and this is all I want to know about it, really. It stars Adam Sandler as a shoemaker, or cobbler, who finds that he can, assume the life of whoever's shoes he steps into. And that's a little weird, and it's a little fantastical for what McCarthy usually does, but he has me at hello, and that's fine, and that's fine.
So what's the reservation?
The reservation is, it's been a while since a movie has gotten such terrible advance press. People are hating the crap out of this thing.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I think it might be because people don't want to see Adam Sandler as a good actor, which he usually isn't, but in certain things he can be very good, and this is precisely the kind of movie that he can be really good in. And
Yep.
Thomas McCarthy is the guy to bring that out of him. Or he is a guy who could.
Yep.
Let me put it that way. Like, for example, obviously the go-to is Punch Drunk Love, but also Reign Over Me, which is not a perfect movie, but he is really good in it. And I mention Reign Over Me because Reign Over Me has that kind of feel that I felt during McCarthy movies before. That sort of
Yep.
so that's what I thought of when I thought of Reign Over Me when I heard that Adam Sandler was going to be in a Thomas McCarthy movie. It's getting such bad press. Like people are saying like this is like the worst movie that Adam Sandler has ever done, kind of stuff. And yeah, maybe not that, I don't know. But
I hear you.
I want it to be good so badly that maybe I'm putting it into Fool Me Once to save my heart. You know what I mean?
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I would hear that. I want your heart to be saved.
I appreciate that. That.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the kind of person I am.
What do you have? What do you have left in Fool Me Once?
Oh, well, we mentioned that. There's a movie called Serena. It's starring Jennifer Lawrence and Bradley Cooper. So why isn't it Can't Hardly Wait? Because it was shelved for a year and a half. That's never good.
Never good.
So it should just not be talked about at all. But it's Jennifer Lawrence and Bradley Cooper.
Cooper. Yeah, no, that's
It
true.
looks beautiful. So you know what? Like, I care. I have to mention it because I care.
Yeah. Has there been a trailer for it yet?
I haven't even bothered to look.
The stills that I've seen, like the shots from it, it does. I mean, it looks beautiful. It's
And I'm gonna say two more Fool Me Onces for you.
okay.
One of them I'm embarrassed about, and the other one I'm embarrassed about.
Okay, go for it.
But for different reasons.
Sure.
Gunman.
Yeah.
I don't. It looks just like Taken,
Sure.
mainly because it was made by the guy that made Taken.
Sure.
I mean, he literally is like, I could just remake this movie with Sean Penn, right? And then we all were like, oh,
I mean,
but
nobody told
it's
him
Sean
no.
Penn, it's Sean Penn, it's Javier Bardem, and it's Idris Elba. I mean,
Who doesn't
come
like
on.
that? Who doesn't like
It's
that?
ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Totally.
And it looks like a totally serviceable action movie. And if Sean Penn wasn't such a bore, it would be of a human being. It would be like a no-brainer, I guess. But I'm glad it's not Liam Neeson a little bit, because Liam Neeson does Taken 17 this month with Run All Night,
Yep.
which I flirted with putting it in all three categories and then put it in none of them.
We'll get there.
And so anyways, and then I have one other. Do you have anything to say about Gunman? You didn't put it on any of your lists.
No. It's in my. I'm not done with my can't hard with my Fool Me
okay.
Once. It's there too. You say it. This is going to be a fairly unpopular opinion. I kind of like the old guys kicking butt action stuff that we've got going on. It's mostly Liam Neeson, but and I am not. I say this in a gender neutral way. Give me some movies. Give me some more. You know what I'm excited about? Speaking of Chappie, the fact that the next movie that Neil Blomkamp is making is Alien 5 with Sigourney Weaver. Heck yeah, Sigourney Weaver kicking butt. Give me Ellen Mirren. Yeah, Helen Mirren like in a stylish thriller, in a stylish.
She was in Red, which was a lot of fun, and she was kicking butt.
Agreed. But I would watch her in a serious action movie. Yes.
I have bad news for you.
What?
I can't watch Helen Mirren anymore
Why not?
because she did that thing to her face where she made it frozen with some sort of chemicals, like with plastic surgery, and she now doesn't look like Helen Mirren anymore, and her lips don't move when she talks, and it makes me super sad. I'm not saying that to be mean. It sounds super judgmental, but I'm just saying, like, when women like do the thing where they just decide not to age anymore, and it's very noticeable, like, or men too. John Travolta recently. I mean, John Travolta's weird as it is, but John Travolta's face, when you saw him at the Oscars, like, it's clearly frozen. Like, it is though.
Yeah,
It's so, it bothers me so much, because here's the thing: they act like we can't tell, but or they go, well, we know you can tell, but no, but nothing. It doesn't look good.
Yeah.
And the whole point, from my understanding of plastic surgery, is it's supposed to make you look better. That's the point of it.
That's
that's
true.
That's literally the
That's
whole
it.
point.
We're done here. Right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Why am I having cosmetic surgery? So that you will look better. Okay, well, guess what? You have failed. And you're a multimillionaire who should have never done this to yourself. But if you were going to do it, maybe you should have spent even more money, and made it look even better. But it looks disastrous, and it makes me sad. And I know that sounds really shallow, but I can't. It makes me mad, Andy.
So yeah, I'm really excited for the Gunman. You know,
Like, oh right, because here we had the first tangent ever on the show.
I'm just saying.
Okay. What else is on your Fool Me Once?
I'm gonna give you. You know what? I know very little about this movie. I'm sort of discovering it for the first time. Danny Collins.
That's my other Fool Me Once.
Because
that's my other embarrassment.
Look at this cast: Al
I
Pacino,
know.
Jennifer Garner, Bobby Cannavale, Annette Bening, Christopher Plummer. Come on.
Yep. Here's the deal, Andy. I love you. You should never be excited about a cast and start with Al Pacino, unless you're talking about a movie from 1975.
It was the order of the cast list. He's the
I hear
lead.
you.
That's it.
But I've seen the preview, and I really want to see this movie.
Nice.
And
Good.
it looks like, I mean, it's it's old guy reinventing himself, trying to become something real again. Like it's nothing new under the sun. But what it does look like is it looks like Al Pacino actually acknowledging the cheese factor of his existence on some level.
Fantastic.
And I like that.
Gotta love that.
And going after Annette Bening with reckless abandon. And guys, until he dies, Christopher Plummer in all the movies.
All of the movies. Every single one.
All the movies.
Every single one.
So,
Yeah. Yep.
anyways, and Bobby Cannavale, come on.
In more than all the movies. Somehow put him in more movies than exist.
They should go back and retcon him into other movies. He should be just in the background.
Yes.
He should be like waiting tables in the diner in Pulp Fiction. He should be the guy who lights the match and that lights the fire on the sleigh in Citizen Kane. Just put him
Wow.
in all the movies. Just put him in all the movies.
Sure. All right. Last category. What the H?
I mean, I already talked about Chappie.
Sure.
You know what? I mean, honestly, Dev Patel doubles up my What the H category, and I feel really bad because I love him.
Yeah, sure.
Love him.
Sure.
But second best Marigold Hotel, what the
What
H.
the H? What the
And the
H?
problem is when you're, in the first one, his sort of like nervous, desperate energy is so infectious and beautiful and like innocent and just fantastic. And in the second one, that same exact energy in the second context looks more like him going, please let this work. Please let this work. And like, if I sweat hard enough and am cute enough and mug for the camera enough, you will not realize what a terrible idea this is.
Yeah. Yes.
That's what it feels like to me.
That's on my list too. That's on my list too because it's just
And it's just looks.
it just like you're just inviting critics to make terrible puns with their headlines when you name your movie second best.
Yep.
You're just
Yep.
that's just happening. Do you have anything else in your What the H?
So I don't, but I wanted to find our friend Daniel Carlson. He actually did a great Facebook thing the other day where he mentioned this movie, Second Best Marigold Hotel. Here it is. 2011, The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. 2015, the second best exotic marigold hotel. 2017, the average exotic marigold hotel. 2021, the exotic marigold motel with free HBO. 2023, the Marigold Hotel, hourly rates. 2025, crime scene, do not cross.
Awesome.
I added to this and got no love for it, and I'm really sad. The the Breast Erotic Marigold Hotel premiering on Cinemax next month. It's a Cinemax movie, guys.
Oh man, that's
zero clicks, zero likes on that.
Well, just wait till we get off the podcast because I'm gonna give you some love. That's awesome.
So proud. I was so proud of that.
So I'm gonna so this is my what the H. That's on there for me. Get Hard. I don't have the confidence in Kevin Hart as a movie actor that you do, and so I just can't. And Run All Night. And I stand by my statement that that I love, old men kicking butt, and I love it when it's Liam Neeson, but like literally these.
And we love Ed Harris.
Yes, and I love Joel Kinnaman too.
Yeah.
I like Joel Kinnaman.
Sure. That's enough.
Yeah, it's enough for now. But this movie, especially after A Walk Through the Tombstones, which was the same movie but boosted by real pathos and real tragedy. And Run All Night just looks like the same thing as Nonstop, as Unknown, as Taken 2.
Well, that's because it's the same director. By the way, it's the same director as Nonstop and Unknown.
Is it really?
Yep.
Well, I'd like to say I'm surprised. I am not surprised.
You weren't. You weren't surprised.
I wanna finish this podcast by pointing something out. You made a joke.
Please.
You made a joke a couple minutes ago that
What?
So we are no longer in Dumpuary. That is true. But you made a joke a couple minutes ago that we've never made a tangent on this show. I can't recall a preview month where we spent less time talking about the actual movies coming out in the month.
Okay, so I have two things to say about that, though.
Please do.
One, we haven't talked in a while, and I feel like we're like getting it out of our system.
Oh, that's fair.
Which I don't know how fun that is for people to listen to, but at this point, I'm so over caring. I tend to think that everything we do is amazing.
It is.
Which is a bad attitude, but I don't care.
Nope.
And the other thing is, no, maybe it's just that thing. Maybe that's the main thing I wanted to say. But I guess the other thing I wanted to say is, you remember we talked about the movies a lot during Dumpuary, but it was because they were so laughably bad.
It's true, but it feels like this month they're not bad so much as like uninspiring. Does that make sense?
Sure.
That's it.
I think the Cobbler. I think Cinderella. I think Get Hard, and I think It Follows. All have the potential, and I'll even put Chappie in that category.
Sure.
All have the potential to be amazing. I doubt any of them are.
Yeah. So it's not Dumpuary, but it might be like Meh-uary, right?
Meh-uary. Yep.
Yeah.
So
So
I hear you. Andy, our next episode, we're going to talk about Kingsman for show.
Okay.
Faux show.
Faux show. All right. But for now, that'll bring us to the end of our podcast, of this episode of Second Breakfast Podcast. I am Andy Roth, and that is Phil Duvall, and we will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The most important